Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Hello, Earthlings. Thank you for joining us at another edition for the Connection to Better Living, or the vaccine for boring radio. Things on Earth look very confused from up here in the CRN spaceship. The Middle East is in turmoil. Citizens around the world are involved in violence as we have never seen before. And all of it because people just want to get involved in something that, in my opinion, they don't understand. People need to cool down, for God's sakes. Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It seems people get riled up. They see they're enhanced by misinformation on unmoderated social media platforms, and they come in with no understanding of the larger cultural things going on.
No, I mean, I don't really know the reason for so much hate all of a sudden. Today is the Jewish people. Before that, it was the black people. Before that, it was Palestinian people. Listen, from somebody who has seen the ugliness of war firsthand, don't get involved in it. Seriously, there's nothing to really find joy with when it comes to that type of stuff. Anyway, so just chill. Let cool heads prevail and listen to reality, okay? Today's show is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be not only talking about travel, but we're going to be talking about food at the same time. And we're going to be mixing it up a little bit different because we're trying to innovate a little bit, bring it a little bit more into line with having fun with the radio show, which is what Lifestyle Buzz is all about. We're not political, we're not religious, we're not controversial in any way. All we want to do is be able to provide fun and entertaining topics that you can actually use for your daily lives and for your enjoyment and for your leisure times, okay? So that's what we're all about. Michael, do you think it's going to work?
I think we'll do our best to try. That's all we can do.
Yeah. Anyway, so no, on the first topic, we always have travel type of thing. So we're going to be doing travel through a foodie trip. Okay. And then the second travel topic, we're going to be talking about California and the same topics and see where we fit with the rest of the union here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really good. We're getting ready now for Halloween. And one of the things that I would like to say is please, please, please love the little ghouls and goblins that are out there asking for peanuts and trinkets. Treat them well. Yeah. They deserve it. Okay?
Absolutely. And drive very carefully.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, if you're coming home from work around 6 p.m., starting to get dark earlier now, keep that out on a swivel because there's going to be a lot of kids running around.
Yeah. And just love them, okay? I know that they're pain in the butt, but love them, okay? You have to. We'll be right back.
Experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Right. So, what is America and what is America in food? All right. So, America happens to be a collection of immigrants from the word go over 200 years ago when people started coming in here, and then after the revolution of 1776 and whatnot. So the only people that are actually native are the Native Americans here. And so the rest of us, there is not one person here that can say, I don't have a background from another place. I mean, I'm from Latin America, and I've been here 60 some odd years. Michael, what is your background?
I was born in Los Angeles, and I've lived in Los Angeles my entire life, and I continue to live in Los Angeles.
Okay, but
ethnically, I have on one side, I have your typical English, Scottish, Irish immigrants that came here in the 1850s. And on the other side, I have Russian, Ukrainian, and Latvian, and a Jewish side that came here in the late 19th century, around 1880.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That if you go back to roots for everybody, we all belong. We can trace it back to some other place. And the same goes with our food. Our food happens to be a collection of people who have migrated and they have modified what from one background to another. And so let's take a look for a little bit here. If you go to Montana, Montana is famous for their burgers. They love their burgers. They have all kinds, cowboy burgers to buffalo burgers, you name it. And that's their pride and joy, is to have a beautiful burger because they're big meat eaters. A
lot of ranching that goes on in Montana.
Oh, yeah. So South Dakota is about the same thing. You know, they're very much into the cattle and nature, and they love their veggies. So if you take a trip from, let's say, West Coast to East Coast, if you go little by little, you'll end up in Minnesota, where supposedly in a place was the birth of the root beer float, and you still go there and you enjoy something magnificent because the way they do it has a lot of history in it.
A lot of Scandinavian immigrants that came to Wisconsin in the late 19th century too, and they brought a lot of their customs and culture, including their food, over there.
Yeah, I mean, and as you move east, you end up in fish country, like in the East Coast, Boston, lobster rolls and fish fries, and I mean, you name it. Illinois barbecue, they're great for barbecue and jazz, you know.
Also, with the immigrant populations in Chicago, as well, great steaks in Chicago too, but also known for the Italian immigrants, and so there's a lot of great Italian food, including the Italian hot beef sandwich and the deep dish pizza too.
In that vein, they're very similar to New York too, because New York is Italian, Jewish. As a matter of fact, the idea of corned beef was started by Irish people and Jewish people.
Yeah,
they came up with the right formula for that, you know. And is the birth of pastrami's and the birth of all the great bread rolls and stuff like that. Like you say, the pizzas and people say, like in New York, eating a bagel, it has to do with the water. I wonder how true that is. But
Yeah, I don't put too much stock into that. I mean, I've been to New York City. The bagels are good. I've had bad bagels in New York City. I've had bad bagels here in Los Angeles. I've had great bagels here in Los Angeles.
yeah, you go to Western Bagel?
Yes, I like Western Bagel a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, so everywhere you go, there's something that the area gets noted for. You go to Maine, they have great mussel dishes, and
Lobster.
lobster. That I mean, yeah, I think that would be such a fun trip to have. Just get in a car with a month to spare and just drive and taste different places. I mean, that would you do something like that?
It's funny you mentioned this. My buddies and I were talking about this. We discovered this place. It's called the Ward's House of Prime Rib. The Ward's House of Prime Rib, and it is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And the reason that I really want to go to this place, it's been featured on the Travel Channel before, is they have this prime rib house is known to have the biggest cut of prime rib that you can buy in the United States, if not the world.
Okay.
They have several cuts, actually, that will get you your picture on the wall and a free T-shirt. Do you want to go through some of these sizes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 40-ounce
Jeez.
prime rib, that's called the Baby Dane. The Franzilla, 50-ounce prime rib. The Big Bugowski, 64, and I'm going to skip a bunch of these, 64 ounces. Probably 64 ounces is the most I think that any person can do. But they have a 360-ounce prime rib that you can get for yourself to eat. It's called the Good Golly Miss Molly.
Oh, 360 ounces. I mean, you'll be there like 2 years eating the thing.
I think that's an actual whole prime rib that you could order and to eat by yourself.
360 ounces divided by 16. How many pounds is that? It's got to be like 20 pounds.
22.5 pounds.
Yeah. So who's going to eat 22 pounds of?
According to their website, someone has done it. Someone has actually done it.
I don't know. I mean, unless there was an unlimited time and it took.
Molly Schuer achieves the record when she devours a 22.5 pounds of Ward prime rib in an hour and a half.
Oh, geez.
And I'm looking at her right now. She's a pretty slim, petite woman.
Well, you know what? That goes the same with a lot of the hot dog eating contest and all of that. Person that eats like 35 hot dogs or 40 hot dogs or whatever it is for the world's record is a tiny little guy. I don't understand it. I used to be a big meat eater where I would eat, let's say, a pound and a half or two.
Yeah, like a 20 ounce or a 28 ounce, somewhere around there, like a T-bone or a porterhouse, something like that.
I had a friend of mine who owned the buggy whip.
Oh yeah.
The old buggy whip, and he had what it was called the King Cut, which was like 3 pounds, 2.5 pounds, something like that. And every time I went there, he goes, "Oh, I know you love it." Boom, and he would plop it on top of my table, and I could not finish ever. I could never. And I'm the type of guy that would eat an entire rack of ribs and the fries and the beans and the salad and 2 drinks and Coke and whatnot. I couldn't fit that monster of a steak, So, we'll be right back.
Sonoma's Bricolor Vineyards encourages you to sip with a purpose. Bricolor Vineyards is raising money for the V Foundation's cancer research through sales of its Isle of Rose Brut Rosé and special events at the winery. Visit BricolorVineyards.com to purchase the Isla Rose Brut Rosé and to attend dinners and parties while you sip with a purpose to raise money for cancer research. That's Bricoleur, BRICOLEUR Vineyards.com. This month, Bricoleur Vineyards will donate $5 to the V Foundation for Cancer Research for each bottle purchased of the Isla Rose Brut Rosé. With each case purchase, Bricoleur will donate $60 to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, and each customer will receive a pink bandana to thank you for your support. Help fight cancer and sip with a purpose. Go to BricolorVineyards.com. That's BRICOLEUR, BricolorVineyards.com.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Today, it seems so hard to enjoy just a little bit of easy. So much of life seems to get in the way. But fear not, seekers of fabulous food and fun and thrill. Columbo's is Southern California's answer to easy street. Great grub with some of the finest steaks, the freshest fish awaiting for you to devour. Did I mention Columbo's family Italian recipes? Columbo's spaghetti bolognese, their chicken pesto ravioli, magnifico, and of course, the world's greatest meatballs. I can go on. But why go on when you can go on over to Columbo's and experience delicious and easy for yourself? Columbo's, of course, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing and always need to stick your fingers to test your blood sugar. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. Apply a discrete sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger sticks. If you are living with type 1 or type 2 diabetes and you use insulin or have had hypoglycemic events, you might be eligible for a CGM through your insurance benefits. U.S. Med partners with over 500 private insurance companies and Medicare. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill your insurance. Call us today for a free benefits check.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
So anyway, we took a trip from East Coast to West Coast, and we talked about the dishes and what is there to see in all that area. But what about our own state of California? We have everything here. I mean, seriously, if you take a trip, one of the most picturesque trips is just to go up the Pacific Coast Highway from LA to San Francisco, you know, and you run across French towns, you run across go to Solvang, which is Swedish towns, a little bit inland, but you know, and the foods are out of this world, what you find along the way. Now, I don't know if it's because you're on the road and relaxed and enjoy everything, but I think that we here in California have the great benefit of terrific cooks, chefs. I mean, like up in the Northern California area, you go to the French Laundry, and it's like the food is out of this world.
Yeah, it's like been a 4-star Michelin star restaurant for a long time. And also think a lot of people, you know, we're a national show. A lot of people don't realize California, the California Central Valley is like the garden of the United States.
Yeah.
We grow so many, you know, vegetables of all different kinds, fruits, vegetables, nuts. And, you know, when you have that in the state within like a couple hours of your restaurant, you're going to get a lot of very, very fresh, high quality vegetables and fruits as ingredients.
Well, California for many years was actually the national food basket. You know, we used to grow all the vegetables here. So it's still there, but I think it's been scaled down because of environmental situations.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right. So a lot of those actual ingredients are organically farmed.
Yeah. I have been going to Of course, you can only do it once a week or so. But one of the things that people may not be aware of is that today there are farmers markets all over the place.
Almost every like, 'cause, people think of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a collection of communities.
Yeah.
You have the city of Los Angeles, but then you have all these other communities that are kind of considered the Los Angeles metropolitan area, and almost all those communities have their own farmers markets.
Well, you know what? Are very close to here on Sherman Way, which is for people who are not from the area. We're talking maybe a mile between Topanga and DeSoto. No, Canoga, I guess. Still a couple blocks, but it's busy, and the side streets also with fresh vegetables and all kinds of things there. So try to go to the farmers market and explore organic vegetables. They are the best,
Absolutely. But also too, maybe like, you're not a big vegetable eater, but I guarantee if you go to any of those farmers markets down here, there's going to be one or two stands that's going to be selling like a tri-tip sandwich or something like that. Something real good too, like that.
Yeah. I cannot say that I am a vegetarian, but I have always loved vegetables. For me, at a dinner, sit-down dinner, there is really nothing better than to start with a nice, crisp salad with nice dressing. Are you a sweet dressing or a tangy dressing?
I can go either way. Usually it's like a mustard vinaigrette. That's usually most popular at the dinners that I attend. But I really like salads that have like toasted pecans on top.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really good. But and also just like going back to the produce, having like a nice mix of lettuces where you have Bibb lettuce and then you have arugula. I really like the pepperiness of arugula.
Arugula, I mean, it has the bitterness that is actually very comforting with the rest of the food.
It complements very nicely, especially if you're doing like a raspberry vinaigrette, like a sweeter dressing.
Yeah. So that's one thing that you learn here in California is that you're not really relegated to the same thing over and over and over. Like for me, I'm a blue cheese dressing guy. I love it. I mean, I don't know why. And I started loving it by going to Sizzler. Before that it was French dressing. Yeah. And then Thousand Islands and so on and so forth. And now it's like, blue cheese is great. The Bob's Big Boy blue cheese, I like it. So anyway, so there you go, free advertising. Start enjoying vegetables. We come from a rice eating culture. Now we introduce more veggies. Try to keep the weight down. So we'll be right back.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. That's 800-559-4185.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-475-7125. 800-475-7125. That's 800-475-7125.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Today, it seems so hard to enjoy just a little bit of easy. So much of life seems to get in the way. But fear not, seekers of fabulous food and fun and thrill. Columbo's is Southern California's answer to Easy Street. Great grub with some of the finest steaks, the freshest fish awaiting for you to devour. Did I mention Columbo's family Italian recipes? Columbo's spaghetti bolognese, their chicken pesto ravioli, magnifico, and of course, the world's greatest meatballs. I can go on. But why go on when you can go on over to Columbo's and experience delicious and easy for yourself? Columbo's, of course, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free gift. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. That's 800-605-1683.
All right, welcome back to CRN and Lifestyle Buzz with Orly. By the way, CRN happens to be your entertainment central, so tune us in and leave it alone, okay? Got everything you need. This is kind of a special show today because we're going to be talking all about food and entertainment because it's the season for that. There's a lot of parties going on, many religious events, not only Christmas but it's just Hanukkah and was it Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving coming up right around the corner.
Thanksgiving right around the corner. So people are beginning to prepare for these fancy dinners at homes and whatnot. And one of the things that many people just kind of shine off and go to the store and buy, which is a very, very important part of a nice meal, is the dessert. So, is making pies in your category of, do you make pies?
If by meaning making pies, calling the House of Pies out here in the Valley and then going and picking them up and then paying for them and bringing them over, then yes, I do that.
You're very good at that, huh?
That is my task. My task every Thanksgiving is to bring the pies, and I get them from the House of Pies out here in the North Hollywood area. They do great pies, but you got to call like 2 weeks ahead to make sure, and you got to get there early to pick them up. But that's what I do. I bring pies and I bring wine. That's what I do.
Okay, all right. Any particular pie that you're
I'm glad you asked. Of course, I'm obliged to pick up a pumpkin pie, even though every time I bring a pumpkin pie over, I've done this for like 15 years consecutively. I bring the pumpkin pie over, no one eats it. Because pumpkin pie is not a great pie. And I'll bring a boysenberry pie, which is done very, very well there. And I'll bring a coconut cream pie because that's what my stepbrother and I really enjoy. And then I'll usually do like a wild card. Like one year, maybe I'll bring a banana cream. Maybe one year I'll bring an apple. Maybe one year I'll bring a cranberry pie, which you don't see that too often. And also every couple of years, I'll bring over a strawberry rhubarb pie.
What the heck is rhubarb?
I just asked that too. Rhubarb, it's a vegetable actually.
Looks like celery.
It does look like celery a little bit. I think it comes from like the eggplant family. But yeah, it's technically rhubarb is not necessarily a sweet pie. But once you put the strawberries in there or blueberries or something like that, it's like kind of a sweet tart pie.
Is it?
Yeah.
For some reason or another, I've always been confused because you see the rhubarb, it is like celery, like purple, reddish celery. And I go like, I hear this thing pies, but I mean, I cannot imagine the taste of celery in a pie, so, but I never actually have tried.
It's kind of a Midwest thing. It's far more common to see it in the Midwest, Nebraska, Iowa, than on the coasts. But for people who grew up in the Midwest, and I have family members who did, it becomes almost like a pumpkin pie where they have to have it every year.
Yeah, I love pumpkin pie, but I like it with a little dollop of cream and whatnot. But for me, it's almost like a sin because I'm diabetic, but can't help it. Is the pecan pie.
Yeah, that's my mom's favorite pie.
Oh, man, yeah, I go crazy with that. But
do you like it when it's like, when you serve the pecan pie, do you like it served warm or do you like it served at room temperature?
I like all pies to be a little warm. I don't know. It gives me that huggy feeling about it, So
yes, also, especially if you're going to serve it with ice cream, you want to get that kind of little melt going on.
Little melt there going on. Yeah. I mean, desserts are like international. Everywhere you go, you find desserts. In many places in Europe, what you find is like plate size type of desserts, like individuals, something filled with apples and cherries and whatnot, but more or less in single servings. Here, our ideal is the pie, so you can cut it and But the variety is enormous. Now, one of the things that I have done recently is try to make it fresh at home.
Make a pie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Now, my daughter
It's
is
tricky.
one that she's excellent at doing that.
The crust is very tricky.
Yeah, it is. And she's in charge of that part. But I mean, like the to get the apples going and with the sugars and all that to fill in the crust and whatnot. Yeah. It fills the house with that smell of peace. I mean, I think for me that's the best description I can give.
Yeah, it's very well said because you get the kind of the smell of baking bread, which is always evocative.
Oh man!
And then also the smell of of sweetness going on.
Yeah.
So it definitely fits that aroma fits the season for sure.
My mom used to bake cookies a lot, and it always reminded me when I walked into her house. It was like it's such a comforting feeling of being home.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, totally. I mean, I actually get that feeling more when I smell like either the turkey or a roast in the oven because for me, the holidays, I'm not a big dessert guy to begin with. I'm far more of a savory palated guy than a sweet palated guy. But yeah, when I walk in, on Thanksgiving early in the afternoon, you can smell that turkey that's been basting in the oven. That's really evocative.
Yeah, you start drooling right away.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me, I'm not a chocolate guy. So, like I hear chocolate ice cream and chocolate pie and all that type of stuff. For some reason or another, I don't know. It's just like too much. It's like over the top, way too much.
Yeah, the older I get too, if I eat chocolate too late in the evening, it keeps me up at night. because I mean there is caffeine in chocolate and all that sugar,
Yeah.
and so that's something you got to be careful of.
Yeah. Although you know what they say that a little bite of dark chocolate is really kind of good for settling your stomach.
They say a little bit of dark chocolate with a glass of red wine is a good way to end the night.
There you go. So what you want to do is fall asleep right away and not wake up at all. All right. We'll be right back.
Savor the past and savor the glory days of Las Vegas. Enjoy 70 years of true Las Vegas history as 4 generations of family wait to greet you at the legendary Bootlegger Italian Bistro. Wine, dine, and experience Mama Maria's award-winning original recipes while surrounded by original family photos and celebrity memorabilia. Enjoy piano artistry nightly with music from the Great American Songbook in our main formal dining room. The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24/7, 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South. In the entertainment capital of the world, the Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South, in the entertainment capital of the world. It's Vegas, baby.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case, and they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-540-9750. 800-540-9750. 800-540-9750. That's 800-540-9750.
All right, welcome back. One of the things that we've been talking about is organizing meals and whatnot, and all in the fun aspect of the holidays. And one of the things that a lot of people complain about is, or not complain. Let me rephrase that. One of the many things that people fail to do actually is truly organize the meal sometimes. And I'll explain. Every meal normally has like a theme. Okay, Thanksgiving has a theme. Even a birthday bash has a theme. Okay. So here is what I hear from people. You, Michael, invite a bunch of friends over because you have a new recipe for Chinese fried rice.
Ooh, I love fried rice.
Okay. So you're going to make fried rice to invite your friends. Okay. And so you figure, okay, what goes with fried rice, some steamed vegetables, and whatever happens to be the side dishes that go with the meal, because it's going to be a Chinese meal, okay? So you put a lot of effort into that, and you invite your people. And most people love the idea of bringing something along for the dinner, So how do you handle what people should bring?
Okay, I think I know what you're getting at. Like, I think the scenario you're discussing that I think some might view with displeasure is, let's say I'm making a Chinese meal and then someone brings over Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a big pot of chili beans that are delicious.
That doesn't bother me that much. If I'm hosting. If I'm hosting, that doesn't bother me that much because those Swedish meatballs are going to stay home with me. I mean, so I can eat those the next day. So my philosophy about that kind of thing is that if you're going to do a potluck, you have to say this is a potluck.
Yeah.
And so then you're going to get a smorgasbord of all different stuff. Some guy's going to bring a 7-layer dip and some guy's going to bring some Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
If I'm saying I'm cooking a Chinese meal, that means that I'm responsible for all the Chinese parts of that meal. Right. And so what I'll do is I'll make the fried rice. I'll go down to the Chinese butcher barbecue place down there in Chinatown and get the char siu pork and the duck and all that. And I'll be responsible for that. And then anything else that people bring over is just, it's fine. I mean, usually that's going to stay with me anyways. And so, hey, I got food for the rest of the week.
Yeah, but sometimes you're in the middle of giving the final touches to the meal. People are already there, and here come the Swedish meatballs, and people go, "Oh, give me a plate."
Excellent point.
People start eating before you're actually serving the meal.
So what you have to do is you have to take those meatballs and hide them. You got to take them and hide them, and then you just don't serve them. And then what will annoy me though? What will annoy me is if I am hosting that dinner. If the person either that brought the Swedish meatballs or someone else says, "Hey, let's bring those meatballs out."
Yeah, well,
because that's rude, and B, that's not what I want to do. I'm hosting this dinner. I'm providing all the food, and so it's at my discretion. However, if you initially couch it as the fact that this is a potluck,
right,
then you got to put it out.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the difference between potluck and all of that. Like in our culture, it's very common for people to be very friendly and whatnot, and there's always an abundance of portos, potato balls, little meat pies, whatever, and you're knocking yourself out, putting out a lot of food because you figure, okay, it's going to be 12, 13 people, 15 people. So you already took account the big piece of roast or all the rice and whatever it is, you already have it kind of set to go. And by the time you sit down and say, okay, here we go, a lot of people, give me just a little bit because, oh, man, I ate so many potato balls. That pisses me off.
Now, that's a fantastic and well enumerated point, Orlando, and that's why I'm anti-appetizer. Yeah, I said it. I'm anti-appetizer, especially for holiday meals, be it Christmas, Thanksgiving, even birthdays. You want to put out some nuts, that's fine. You want to maybe like a little bit of toast points or something like that with
a little hummus,
a little something, a little hummus with some chopped up vegetables, some carrots or something like that. But like you've said, and I've discussed this at length on this show and probably previous shows on this network, is that appetizers are a complete waste. Especially at Thanksgiving, because like you said, you're sitting around there, and especially it's a big group of people, because it's only natural when you're in a big group of people, you might have some social anxiety, and the way that people deal with social anxiety is to start snacking, and so by the time you sit at the table, you're completely full. So that's why I'm saying it for the record right now: no appetizers on Thanksgiving, no appetizers on Christmas, no appetizers on birthdays.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I've actually started doing is we have a pretty good size table that you can add leaves to it, and we set it up to where it's very pretty, all the settings in the tables and the cups for the wine and all of that, and people don't sit at the table until we're ready for it. So if they're gonna snack, there's plenty of tables all over the house, outside the yard. I mean, there's plenty place or room. If they want to eat peanuts there, it's fine, but nothing at the table, so there's no hard dishes anywhere. We'll be right back. Boy, we got into it. Good.
experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Fred Dreyer here. 84% of women wish they had been given more information prior to getting an abortion. With over 900,000 abortions annually and less than 1% due to rape or the life of the mother, it is time for us to find a way to save women and preborn boys and girls from abortion. The nationwide TellCare network from Compass Care can reach and serve women with a trained pro-life nurse before the abortionist does. Serve women and save babies by making a $40 donation to saveababy.us today. Make your donation today. Go to saveababy.us. Make a donation and save a baby's life at saveababy.us today. Saveababy.us.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. That's 800-605-1683.
The United States is now adding $1.2 billion in debt per hour. Global debt, well, that's going up too. There's war on the horizon in multiple locations around the globe, and digital currency is coming. Find out how to protect your earnings and investments this week on the Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.
The Gold Standard with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on CRN1, as well as Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific Time on CRN1.
All right, I hope you guys had fun with our show today. It was like something that needed to be said. I swear to God, entertaining is such an important part of everybody's day life. You know, I take it very serious because I feel that you're honoring your guests with what you do, and that is the best symbol of friendship. That's why, with all the stuff that's going on around the world, why don't people just sit down and have some French fries or something and just chill, just talk about it? I think that food is the big neutralizer for a lot of violence and stuff that's going on, because it satisfies the soul, it satisfies the palate, it satisfies the hunger, and maybe that hunger for attention, that hunger for want to be relevant. We're all the same. Trust me, from rich to whatever. If you follow the words of what was the man's name, the Apple guy, what's his name?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. When he died, he said, okay, I have all the money in the world, but he knows he's dying. So what was it all about, you know? You don't want to get into the point of wondering, what is it all about? Just live. If you happen to have a lot of money, if you happen to have a good job, if you happen to have good prospects, share them if you can. That is the most humane way to stay within a sanity world, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you. And I know, like, a lot of people, especially people of your generation, they're, saying, like, well, I want to, make as much as I can and leave it to my kids.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of will do your kids a disservice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's, unless you have the generational wealth where you can handle 10 generations, if you just give your money to that first generation, you're going to turn that generation to dilettantes, and it's going to be bad for the subsequent generations.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been a big believer of working my tail off to leave it to my daughters. There's a comfort level that you can help with, but they also have a life to live and choices to make and opportunities to grow on their own. Trivia question.
Okay.
There's a meeting of presidents. Nixon, Reagan, Ford, and Clinton are sitting at a table. And here comes FedEx. And he says, I have a package for Leslie Lyon King Jr. Who raises their hand?
Reagan?
No.
Okay. Who was it?
Ford.
That was his name?
That was his real name.
Really?
There you go.
I know he was a very successful college football player at the University of Michigan.
Who?
Ford.
He was?
He was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I think he was like a very underestimated president. He was quiet, low key, but he was okay. He was a smart guy.
Yeah, I think both him and Carter, will look back at them as moral men who their failures were more about the times they lived in rather than the faults of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there is really no perfect president that makes perfect choices every single time. Carter will always be known for giving up the Panama Canal. So what? All right, so we're ready to go. Again, please, Halloween is going to be what, tomorrow?
Tuesday,
okay. So you have a couple of days to get ready for the kiddies, the little monsters out there, ghouls. Treat them well. Give them safe candy to eat. Don't give them cookies. Nobody's going to eat those.
No raisins.
No raisins. Just packaged, goods, sealed, ready to go. All right. Have a great time. God bless. We'll see you next week.